Hello and welcome back to another coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. In our time together this week, I want to share with you some coaching questions that are specifically around probing for clarity. So when we meet with team members, oftentimes we're doing this around some type of a behavioral issue or something that we want to change. And so some probing questions are really powerful for us to be able to stay in our coaching zone and ask some questions to add clarity around what the issue really is. So probing questions, first of all, uncover the real issue. And oftentimes, we don't really understand what the real issue is when we're coaching other people. When they come to us, they're emotional. And it's hard for us to really determine what the real issue is. And so these kinds of questions are really going to help you to identify the real issue. Probing questions are also going to reveal the thought process. And again, this is really important. As a coach and as a leader, what we want to do is understand how other people on our team are thinking, what causes them to behave in a certain way. So probing questions are going to get really behind the thought process of that person and help you to better understand not only that situation, but future situations as well. And then finally, probing questions reveal a clear path to resolution. So once we have the real issue and we understand the thought process, now we can really determine how do we move forward with this to provide a resolution for this issue or this behavior that we're trying to change. So I want to share with you some examples of 3 questions I think are pretty powerful. What would you like to accomplish with this issue? So as the person comes in, this is a good way to get them centered and refocused on coming up with a solution rather than simply to complain about something and talk about someone else's behavior. You mentioned blank. Tell me more about that. As coaches, what we do is we learn to listen and better understand those areas that are really emotional, high energy for our team members that we're talking to. So when you identify those areas where somebody gets really fired up or there's more emotional energy around that, you want to stop and say, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because you identify that as an area that is probably one of the major causes of this issue or what's really behind this issue. And then finally, what's most significant about this issue? And again, this is just refocuses the team member back to summarize what it is that you're talking about. What is the major issue? These are really powerful questions, again, to help us to better understand how to move forward and get resolution rather than just sitting there and allowing a team member to really just to talk about the issue and blow off steam, which sometimes is important, but we do need to get to a resolution, and we're all busy as leaders, so it's important that we have the ability to ask very clear, concise questions to move the conversation from start to finish where there's clarity around what the issue is and where we're going to go to resolve the issue.